Hello, everything alright? My name is Tamiris. I've been working with technology and growth marketing for the past decade, and I'll be exploring with you today this very exciting alternative for AI content generation, which is AirOps. So if you're excited to know a little bit more how you can step up your AI content generation game, I think this video is the right video for you. So let's dive in. Alright, so today I'll be exploring with you AirOps. So before I dive into the specifics of the tool, I wanted to contextualize you guys about what the tool does and why I think this is probably one of the best alternatives on the market right now for content generation, especially in the SEO context, right? So as you guys can see on my YouTube channel, I've already explored, I think, the most popular tools, which are Writesonic, Jasper AI, SurferSEO. Of course, I already explored creating content with GPT, OpenAI integrations, etc. So I've already explored a handful of essentially workflows and tools to better create AI content. And most of them are okay, but they do lack a little bit of personalization. They do lack a little bit of depthness, especially regarding producing content for a specific target audience, or giving me visibility of the sources, why you took some decisions in terms of choosing a certain keyword, or in terms of choosing a certain source as inspiration to propose me the overall structure. So I'm not 100% happy with most of AI content generation tools that we have out there, because primarily they all sound the same, although they do have some features for having tone of voice or brand guides or blah blah blah. I mostly feel that these features are not on their prime, at least not right now, like May 2025. So exploring a bit more other alternatives on the market, I found AirOps. And this tool, by the little time I used to explore it, really impressed me. And I do think it is very interesting, especially for SEO agencies, content writing agencies, or for SEO freelancers, consultants that want to essentially save time and also save costs with content writing, right? So let's dive into the pricing. Right now, they do have 3 different tiers of pricing, which are solo, scale, agency. I don't know why they are not making it available on the website, the price for the scale. But I already received an email of their team telling me that if I want to upgrade from solo to scale, it is $199. Probably they are testing a lot with the pricing, so it might not be $199 when you try to upgrade it. But I received an email, I think like 2 weeks ago-ish. So this is likely the baseline that you will have to pay if you want to upgrade for scale, at least right now, May 2025. So let's explore a little bit what you can do on their free tier. And I already can tell you guys that you can do a lot of exploration, so it is not an empty free trial. You can actually start to produce some pieces of content, which is pretty interesting. So I think that you can start with the free tier, produce like 3-5 pieces of content and feel the vibe, which is pretty exciting, because nowadays most free trials are just like for you to explore the tool, generate one piece of content, and then you cannot see what the tool is actually capable of. So it includes 1 user, basic templates, which are pretty good for content outlines and article, especially informational article generation, 1 brand kit, which for agencies, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So you will have to upgrade it if you are an agency and you want to use this at scale, probably. 5 knowledge base sources, which is pretty interesting as well. 1,000 tasks per month. So tasks is kind of like their token system, and we'll explore that together in a bit. 30 plus AI models, 10 plus data providers. One of data providers that really caught my attention is DataForSEO. For obvious reasons. Right now, this is the main low-cost API for SEO that we have out there, so this is pretty exciting. They do have CMS integrations, which I didn't test yet, but they have WordPress, Webflow, Shopify, and of course Google Docs. And then you can use your own API keys and, well, play with it. The scale, which is where I think most people will fit in, as I told you, is likely around 199. They have unlimited users, which is sweet. 3 plus brand kit, so I think this is likely already enough for you to like explore better the two. Unlimited knowledge base, which is pretty interesting. Custom tasks, I don't know exactly what this means, so we have to explore a little bit more together. They have SEMrush SEO data, which can be quite exciting because to pay for SEMrush's API is pretty expensive. And yeah, I think that's like the 80-20 of the two. So let's finally stop the talk and go to actually the two inside. So as I told you guys, I already explored a little bit. Essentially, when you first log in, you have to essentially input your main brand. You cannot create more than one brand over here. So for the free trial, be mindful of what is kind of like the main website / domain that you want to test. For me, I just put one of my websites and I started testing. So you can either start from scratch with their recommendations, so they have the templates as I told you guys, or you can start essentially building your own workflows, your own grid. So for the sake of this first exercise, I will go with a template so you can check what they have over here. As I told you, they do have content briefs, informational article, internal and external links, article content refresh, meta tags for a page, and getting image for an article. So this is the 80-20 of what they have right now, which is enough for most users in my perception. Again, as I told you guys, the target audience is SEO, web, and content agencies, and this is what you will be doing like 60-70% of the time. So I do think that they nailed down like pretty well these base templates essentially, especially because we are on the free trial, so that's interesting. What I will do with you guys is that I will do the whole like process of writing an informational article, because I think this is the most exciting feature that you can test, like templates / workflow that you can test. So they do have two types of visualization of all the steps that you can do over here. The first type is kind of like a table. They name it as grid. So you have different columns over here. Each column is responsible for a particular part of the process of writing an informational article. And you can, of course, set some topics over here of what you want to talk about. And then it is pretty intuitive the way that you create it from scratch an article. So essentially you have to choose a topic. So over here, let's say that the topic that I want to talk about is best AI content tools in 2025. So now what you will do is that first you write a content brief. So it's essentially telling the steps that it takes. It goes through like Google SERP, then it does a search intent analysis, then Google search for internal links, title options, and then review needed. So when it says review needed, it means that you need to open it and give it your own manual feedback. So essentially it's telling me which topic I like the most. So let's go for this one. Then it goes back to writing the article. As you can see, it's pretty intuitive the way that it works. Then we have the content brief, and we can take a look if we first of all liked the overall idea and research that it did, and second, if you have a content team, then you can essentially download the brief and give it to them so they can use it as essentially a guide when they will manually reveal the final output. Or if you want to stop here without generating the article because you already have a content team, etc., then you have the brief already done for you, which is I would say 30% of the work at least, right? So here you have the title, secondary keywords that it is recommending. So best AI content tools 2025 free, top AI tools for marketers, AI writing tools comparison, AI content generation tools, So all of these are interesting keywords. One task that I wanted to do is actually checking if they have search volume. So I'm using SEMrush over here. So what I will do is that I will select some of these. So best AI content tools 2025, top AI tools for marketers, AI writing tools, comparison. So these are all long tails. So most likely we won't have a lot of search volume specifically for them. But then when we delete the long tail specificity part, we might have search volume. So first let's try to check if these long tails do have volume without turning them into seed keywords or something a bit more like broad. So yeah, most of them do have search volume, and actually they are commercial keywords, which are keywords that do have some intent in terms of being like middle or even bottom of the funnel keywords. So I really liked the selection. One thing that it did not take into consideration is the keyword difficulty. So they are somewhat hard to rank. So this is something that you need to be careful with. But yeah, they are taking keywords that do have search volume. So this is pretty exciting. The search intent, the primary motivation for search best AI tools, blah, blah, is to discover effective and innovative tools that can enhance content creation, streamline workflows, and improve productivity in marketing and business context. The searcher is likely looking for recommendations, comparisons, and insights into the latest AI tools that can help them stay competitive and efficient in their content strategies as they plan for the future. It seems decent. Then they have this content funnel stage, top of the funnel. Yeah, I would say top of the funnel is about right. Then they have recommended content type, which is like a list of the tools. Top related questions. This one is really good, really good. What are the top AI content tools available in 2025? How do these AI content tools compare in terms of feature and pricing? Which AI content tools are best for marketers looking to enhance their strategies? Are there any free AI tools? Internal links. They do have some reference of articles that are ranking well. And then they do have suggestion of sources and suggestion of the slug, so the URL essentially. Let's say that I'm cool with all of that and actually write the article. So now they are doing research, they're considering the content type. Okay, we are back. It took them about a minute. Now we have what they call article outline, so let's check what it is. So essentially, they are suggesting the subheadings and describing what needs to be included in each subheading. So let's check this out. AI writing platforms are sophisticated software applications that automate tasks such as content creation. By 2025, these tools focus on generating high-quality human-sounding copy. Advanced capabilities include natural language processing, context-based text generation, why AI writing tools matter for marketers, which global clients can quickly scale content production, seamless translation and localization features are increasingly common, vital for appealing audience overseas. So it is taking into consideration the fact that the company that I essentially put as the brand is a company made for people that are looking to work overseas. So it is taking into consideration my brand for this recommendation, which is pretty interesting because depending on what you set up as your brand, it will give you slightly different outputs over here. International markets, again, is taking into consideration the brand. So this is pretty exciting because it is indeed being more contextual on their suggestions, although it is respecting the sources, the content that is ranking right now for this type of queries. It is also taking into consideration particularities of my website, my target audience. Key features, the best AI content tools in 2025. It is inserting some reference links, which is pretty interesting. Okay, let's say that I'm fine with that, and let's finally write informational article body here. Probably this one will take slightly longer, like 2 minutes. So it is doing perplexity research, which is pretty interesting. I'm back. It took about 2 to 3 minutes. So let's check out. Artificial intelligence has rapidly shifted from novelty to necessity in content marketing. 2025, the most competitive marketers rely on AI to accelerate production timelines, improve message consistency, and connect with wider audiences. Instead of replacing creativity, these tools elevate it, automating repetitive tasks while unlocking new possibilities for personalization and strategic refinement. From social media to long-form SEO content, AI adapts to the specific demands of each format with precision. Yeah, this one sounds a little bit off, but man, this is way better than like 80%, maybe 90% of the tools out there. Then it is taking into consideration the company that I set as my brand. So again, if you set your own brand, it will vary the way that it is writing the content. So this part over here is very specific for my company that I set up on the beginning. But for your company, it will be different, okay? So for my company, it does make sense to mention growth marketers coming from Brazil because, hey, that's me. Brazilian growth marketers aiming to operate globally. These innovations offer a level playing field. The right tools, even lean teams can produce content at scale that meets international standards. So this is so good. This is really good compared to like most of the alternatives that we have out there. Defining the best AI content tools in 2025. AI writing platforms 2025 function far beyond basic text generation. These tools use advanced natural language processing. So this is a very important keyword slash like term when we are talking about content writing with AI. So it nailed down this part. SEO optimized blog post is also a term very important for this type of tool. Best AI platforms. It's also a relevant term. AI content generation, of course. This one is also a keyword. Many now include building keyword research is also a relevant term. Comparative analysis, semantic structure mapping is also a relevant term. So yes, as you guys can see, it is doing like, I'll say 85 to 90% of the job. Then of course, if you want to have top quality content, then you can surely take a person to review and essentially like refine this output, which is what I usually recommend, of course, especially if you want to do something that is more personalized, it sounds more human, sounds slightly more natural, then of course that final like touch of a person reviewing this is very good. But guys, instead of the person taking 2 hours to do the text slash to write the article themselves, they'll take like half an hour to review this. So this is already like cutting down the effort by like 60 to 70%. So this means cutting down also the cost in 60 to 70%, or being able to embrace 60 to 70% more clients on your agency or as an SEO slash content slash web consultant. So it is referencing some tools like Jasper and Writesonic that I already reviewed on my channel. You can check the review over here. For example, enable marketers to input a brief or headline and receive a complete draft optimized for readability, engagement, ranking potential with multilingual capabilities and voice recognition features. So here again, it's mentioning my brand, which is pretty cool. So combined with customizable templates and automation rules like those provided in platform seems to catalyze, which is the name of my brand. AI writing tools have become essential allies in scaling global marketing efforts. Again, contextualized to my brand. So this is the best tool out there right now that I test, and I already test, I think, like 5 to 8 different tools. I have my own content writing tools as well. So this is operating on a next level, my perception. It even gave me like the word count over here, and it is a very good word count, so we can explore more in depth the nuance and all the major like aspects of this topic. The only thing over here that I missed, that I've already seen Writesonic, for example, doing slightly better, is inserting like tables, lists, and this type of more like readability optimization. So you can see that they do have these like huge chunks of text. So I will likely say that turning some of these into like tables or bullet points or lists, it would be interesting for enhanced readability. So Writesonic does have this like treatment of the data, so it can like show tables. So I do feel that this is one shortcoming, although it is a small shortcoming, and I do see that in the future or on a paid, more advanced version, maybe you can kind of like tweak it to give you like some tables, etc. It is a minor thing in my perception, right? Because the quality of the content and the fact that it is SEO optimized with keywords that actually have search volume, for me it's like the 80-20 here. So you do have some options of editing the content right here, right now. You do have code block, link, image, insert a table, which is what I told you guys that I felt that it was kind of like lacking. Bold. You can change to paragraph, heading 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then bullet, number list. One thing that I'm curious, I saw that they have like the magic wand, so let me check what it does. Like for example, like let me select this. So I can give instructions. Let's see if it is actually able to turn this into a table. I don't know, I'm exploring with you guys. I never tried to do that before. I misselected that one. Wait. Okay, this was this. Could you please turn all this information into a table? Let's check what happens. I don't know if it is able to do that. I wonder if I copy and paste that on a markdown to if you actually give me a table. Let's try that out. Let's see. Nah, it doesn't. Yeah, I would have to like probably tell GPT to do that instead. Okay. Let's see if I can at least change something about the content. Please change DCTA to be actually endorsing AirOps as the best tool for AI content writing. Let's see what it does. Was pretty fast. If you're ready to scale your marketing career beyond borders, choosing the right AI tool is essential. AirOps stands out as the best solution for AI content writing, chosen by ambitious marketers to land international clients, earning dollars, blah, blah. It is making it very personalized to my brand again. Okay, and then you can generate a hero image. Let's see if this feature is actually good as well. So we do have an error. Yeah, we need to upgrade in order to have images, which is a bummer, but okay. So yeah, the end output was pretty decent in my perception. So this is utilizing their own templates. Then you can, if you want to, do your own workflows or edit a workflow that they have over here. So for example, we could kneel and then start with workflow. And then here you have some options of how you can build your own workflow. So essentially you can utilize AI, web search, including Google search and Perplexity deep research, which is pretty interesting. And also a web page scraper, which again is pretty interesting. You can run code, call an API for my JSON, run SQL query, write liquid text. Then of course you have some options to build your own flow. So condition, iteration, human reveal, error, which is very interesting if you are building more complex workflows. You want to understand what happened essentially on a particular error and what is the expected behavior if you do get an error. Content comparison. Then you do have data, so essentially read from grid, write to grid, which is that table that I showed you guys. So again, they have like this knowledge base feature that is very relevant if you want to build more personalized contextual content. And if you want, of course, to have some templates, rules, or even a particular set of sources that you want essentially for them to utilize all the time or in a particular like occasion. Then workflow, agent, image and video, and I do have some of these image/video locked because I'm testing the free version. Generate image with AI, then you can search stock images, resize, screenshot from URL, create a video avatar. This one is pretty interesting, but I don't have access to test it. Then you can analyze content words, convert markdown to HTML, which is what I just did. So they do have these already into their automation options over here. Convert PDF URL to text. This is pretty interesting because it is something that when you are testing a lot of automation, AI processing, AI coding, etc., you do know that extracting content of a PDF can be challenging depending on how it is structured. So I'm pretty curious to test in the future these like PDF to text, because me and my team, we already spent like hundreds, if not like thousands of hours doing AI coding and automations. And I would say a couple of these hours were essentially to generate or to extract information from PDFs. So I'm pretty curious to know how they handle that. Then you can extract entities. You can do B2B enrichment. This is sick, especially if you want to do, for example, email marketing. So you can, for example, integrate with BrandFetch, Hunter.io, Paragon, and People Data Labs. Then you do have some SEO research features over here connected to DataForSEO. Their API is pretty challenging for people that don't have technical knowledge. Their documentation is a bit confusing. So I would say that the fact that they already bring you this integration directly over here can save you a lot of time or save you money in terms of not needing maybe to hire a developer to do more basic like stuff with the API. They do have SEMrush's connection, which for $199, if this is actually the price at this very moment, it is pretty interesting actually. Then you can detect content cannibalization, content quality over here. So you can utilize this type of feature as well. Which is pretty interesting because like there are a lot of people that are still skeptical of utilizing AI, so you can kind of humanize it a little bit more. And then they have a bunch of other integrations over here. So Contentful, Gmail, Google Docs, Google Search Console, Google Sheets, Notion, Sanity, Shopify, Slack, Stripe, is that how you pronounce it? Webflow, WordPress, and finally YouTube. So they have a lot of options of how you can build your own workflows over here, which again is way more powerful than your typical Writesonic, Jasper, SurferSEO, Search Atlas, blah blah blah. I already tested a bunch of these. So although the price point, if it is actually $199, it is way more expensive than like Writesonic, SurferSEO, and Jasper. It is doing way more. It's actually your own AI agent builder for content. And as you can see, it is essentially giving you the options of doing SEO content, of doing email marketing content, copywriting, and like of course refreshing content in general. I do think that it is powerful enough that you can actually write maybe even like landing page copy if you do the right workflow over here. So this is very exciting for agency owners and also growth marketers in general, and I would heavily recommend you exploring the free version of this tool to essentially check out and see if it makes sense for your own company. So if you want me to record some videos exploring some of these features, please let me know down in the comments. I will surely have a great time exploring a bit more and showing you guys how I would actually do some of these workflows myself. So if you're a web agency and an SEO agency and you actually want to know how you can have more efficient workflows and save 70 to 80% of the costs and time that you are spending right now, then you can feel free to book a call with me on the link down below. I've already helped over 10 agencies to essentially scale over 7 figures. And of course, I utilize this on my agency as well. So I went from essentially 30 to 40% margins to 70 to 80% margins by automating most of the operations on my company. So if you want to do that in your agency, feel free to contact me and I'll be happy to talk with you. If you are excited to know more about these tools, automation, and how you can have a more efficient operations on your agency and scale, then you can also subscribe and check some of my other videos. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers!